All right, everybody. This is Eric with Gamerz Gamble. This is the E3 discussion 2014, and now we are on Sony. Phil?
Oh yeah, Sony, take it away, and please take it away. After the high they come off from last year, which they really didn't do anything phenomenal. Yeah, they had the guy from Square Enix come out and say Final Fantasy 15 and thank God Kingdom Hearts 3. What? And then they come off the high from Microsoft, no DRM. I'll show you how to. It plays used games. You don't have to be online to play. They're going to have to step it up. Microsoft is not eating their own shoe. They're not digging their own grave. They're in it to win. Sony needs to bring it too. Now, the only games I know that are going to be at the Sony E3 press conference for 2014 is The Order 1886, Uncharted 4, and Deep Down, which is a Capcom game, but I'm pretty sure it is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. The Order 1886
looks phenomenal.
Yes, it does.
I've actually watched some stuff on that a couple days ago, and because I didn't know what it was, I thought it was going to, it's just like, I'll check it out, and I checked it out, and I thought it was awesome looking.
For those that don't know, what would you, how would you describe it? What would you equate it to?
We haven't seen much gameplay, but it looks to be a third-person shooter. Mm-hmm. Right. Not gonna say Gears of War.
To me, it kind of looks like
but it's
modern meets like 1800s.
It is futuristic. 1886. I'm not sure of the year, but it is also steampunk. Did anybody play Dishonored?
It's very. No, I didn't.
I heard a bit about it. What I heard about Dishonored really turned me off from it.
I enjoyed it.
I've heard nothing but good things from Dishonored. I've been wanting to play it, but I haven't yet.
All right, so The Order, did they give anything away on what the storyline is about?
No.
Like, is it supernatural creatures?
It is supernatural creatures. 1886, futuristic steampunk. You can call 1886. I don't know.
Kind of sounds like an oxymoron a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Just a little bit. But it's their world. They're building it, and from the gameplay I've seen, third-person shooter, Uncharted. Kind of. Yeah. But back there in 1886, I think England.
Yeah, it looked like London almost.
Yeah, maybe London.
So I mean, we'll see. I hope E3 shows actual gameplay. That's what I'm hoping for.
Is The Order going to be a PS4 exclusive?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely
PS4 exclusive. Yeah.
Because I mean, if I may say this right quick. I'm not going to hate on any system for having exclusives because exclusives is what gives you the
incentive to get it.
Yeah, the incentive to get that particular console.
Well, talking about that, I know it's also for PS3, but what about the Evil Within? Isn't that for PS4 also? I mean,
I believe that's for all systems.
Is it for all systems? Because I heard it was a PS3 exclusive,
except for Wii U.
Seems to be a trend.
Nintendo's going to do their own thing.
Yeah, Nintendo beats to their own drum.
Alright, I just checked, and The Evil Within is on Sony and Microsoft's consoles.
Both.
So, yeah.
7th and 8th gen, the Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4 and PS3.
Yeah.
Righty. Spoke about The Order, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we haven't seen anything besides overview of a map, just some random map. But Uncharted 4 will be shown at Sony's press conference.
Super excited.
Everyone was getting upset. I was kind of getting upset that everybody from Naughty Dog were leaving. The people that done Uncharted 3, 7 or 8 high dog people have left Naughty Dog, but the people that made The Last of Us have now stepped up and they are helping with Uncharted 4. If everybody's played The Last of Us, you know how much of a phenomenal game it is, and that can only help Uncharted 4.
Well, for me, what I'm looking forward to is back on the. I forgot what we talked about in earlier discussions, but I would like for Uncharted to go back to its roots. Uncharted 3 was still a good game to me.
Uncharted 3 was a good game.
Supernatural aspect rather than them trying to be scientific with it.
Yes.
I mean, that's what made me love Uncharted 1 and 2, and I would love to see Uncharted 4 go back to its roots.
That, and also, what helped... I still own Uncharted 3. I ain't traded it in. But the lack of replayability for Uncharted 3.
Yes.
And Uncharted 2, I don't know why, but I liked replaying the game in a mirror world. Where instead of you take a right, you took a left. Or you could mess with the filter. Or you know what? Because I got
Drake.
Right? And I don't see how he pulled himself up or held those lynches. Those are the most powerful hands in the world. But
did you also notice that they actually changed, they distorted his voice a bit to he sounded like... Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
And if you got 50 kills with the SVD, which is the sniper for Uncharted, you could pause the game,
unlock it,
and then you would have the SVD in your hand, just to help replayability. And you know what? Uncharted 3 got rid of that. I hope Uncharted 4 brings that back. Uncharted 2 is still a phenomenal game, still one of the best games of this last generation.
Don't forget about the Vita Uncharted title. Now that
Golden Abyss.
Yeah, that one was a real big disappointment to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I loved it up until the end.
Oh, really?
And
does it have the Uncharted 3 realism thing to it, or
the ending wasn't supernatural?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to go into any spoilers or anything, but it seems like Uncharted is trying to get away from the supernatural feel,
and they shouldn't.
No, they should not.
So
because
the first two games
honestly,
are based off of.
Whenever someone asked me how to describe Uncharted, I said take Indiana Jones and give him a gun.
And Indiana Jones had the supernatural aspects.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, some of them weren't quite
except
as
the
well
crystal skulls,
received.
but we're not going to talk about that. Discussion for a different day.
Aliens are supernatural. Shit. It's super, and it's not natural to this world.
E.T. phone home.
There's nothing
I'm
serious.
not Drew Barrymore. Get your finger out of my face.
Thank you.
That's what she said.
No, that's my only thing I'm hoping for. I'm still going to play the games.
Anyways. Alright, definitely looking forward to Uncharted 4, but onto another PlayStation exclusive that we know will be there is Deep Down. Well, it is being developed by Capcom, not sure which division of Capcom. So far, it looks like Dragon's Dogma, or this current gen, and oh my god, it looks like you're playing D&D, but real time.
Mm-hmm.
The particles, I guess that's the best way to differentiate last gen from current gen is how many particles are on screen. And I tell you what, that game is particle heavy.
I'll tell you one thing that really helps with that is with the extra RAM that they put into the consoles.
Right, and thank God.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I think the PS3.
I haven't seen anything about Deep Down yet.
They've only showed a little bit, and it looks so good. I'm questioning whether it's actual gameplay or CG, but it looks like they made it look like it was gameplay, and wow.
Yeah.
So if that game can handle it, and on a 50 gigabyte Blu-ray drive, there's a lot of room to put on there.
Oh yeah.
Have any of y'all played the Dragon's Dogma?
I played very little.
I played the demo.
It's one game I've always wanted to pick up, but I just never got a chance. Every time I go to pick it up, there's something new coming out.
Yeah, but I'm a story horse, so I don't know anything about the story to it. Like if it has like a solid story, or if it's kind of vague, like how Demon Souls and Dark Souls was. It's like there is a story there, but it's like it's not really
it's almost
bam bam
it
bam
is
kind of story.
Third party. Still talking about Dragon's Dogma. It's third party, but the story will move along as fast as you want it to, just like kind of Skyrim.
Okay.
So if you only do main quest, the story is happening. Just bow, 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 bow.
Okay.
But there are hundreds of side quests. Anyways, hopefully Deep Down will go just as much into it. Looks to be a lot closer, I guess, so we can see the camera view is a lot closer, so we can see all the curves in the concrete and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, details and pretty graphics are always a bonus.
Right.
But for me, it's mostly about gameplay and story.
I don't fault you on that. Mm-hmm. And hopefully Capcom will bring it, because we know how story heavy Street Fighter is.
I mean, hell, I still enjoy the, going back and play the 18, 16, and 32-bit games. Graphics don't mean much to me.
Well, I will say this, though. It is getting harder for me to play older games now because of graphics. Now, like something like RPGs is a little bit different because, your eyes don't really have to readjust. You can just play. You got turn-based battles. But, like, faster pace, like, one of my favorite PlayStation games of all time was Tomba. I got it now for my PSN, and it's hard for me to play. It's just...
The coloration is kind of a bit rough on the eyes.
Mm-hmm. But going back to, what was it, Deep Down? You said that there's particles. What do you mean?
Oh, just like fire, and it's cracking against a pillar of concrete. The dude is hiding behind, and you just see the fire and like all the little...
Like details, like more detail.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at infamous Second Son.
Now, my brother spoke highly of how good the special effects and the graphics were on Infamous Second Son.
So I heard it was a tremendous game. I only got to watch a little bit of it, but what I watched, it was awesome. But do we have anything else I know we have speculations of what we hope.
Yeah, we'll get right to that here in a second. The Last of Us Remastered. It just come out last year on the PS3. It's coming to PS4. We don't have a release date.
Can you say money grab?
Money grab?
They'll make money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really quick. I don't know if I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
I've played it once.
It would be one thing... Or go ahead. I'm sorry.
But The Last of Us Remastered also comes with the online, supposedly more stable multiplayer, and it also comes with the DLC. They have said they love how powerful the PS4 is. The only problem is they're running out of room on a 50 gigabyte disc for The Last of Us. Yeah.
How big was the Blu-ray on the PS3?
I think it's 25.
25?
Yeah.
That's it? I always heard that it was 80.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get more Blu-ray stuff. I don't know. I'm not a technician.
Well, with me, it's like I love that they're remaking things, but why remaster something that's only a year old?
Exactly.
I mean, with Tomb Raider, I love Tomb Raider, and I think when we watched...
Are you talking about the PS3 and PS4, and then 4 months later the definitive edition?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I get why they're doing it. It was great games. Tomb Raider was a great game. But
yeah, it was.
It hasn't
but
been
I mean,
out
like, but why would you go like
that long?
Well,
last year also, March last year, and then.
But I mean, like, are they going to start doing more? Like, if let's say the Last of Us does.
Well, if people don't buy it, they'll quit doing it.
Yeah.
But apparently, people are buying it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fault people for doing that because they're great games. I
mean,
can't.
We were seeing games on last gen, and how gorgeous were they at 720p at 30 frames a second, and now.
We're seeing
1080p at 30 frames a second.
60. I thought it was doing 60.
A lot of games are doing 60. Several games are only capable of 30. Like Infamous Second Son, solid 30 FPS frame rate. Watch Dogs, which, oh my god, love that game. We'll get that later.
Yeah. Alright, so those are all the games that we know for certain are going to be at E3.
Last of Us Remastered, I don't see why they wouldn't. Although the game isn't out yet.
Yeah.
Now.
But I mean, that would be kind of a waste of time if they did The Last of Us. They did it with Tomb Raider in November for, what was it, the Video Game Awards. They showed the definitive collection.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not far-fetched.
If they didn't, I mean, that would have been...
3 or 4 years ago, the game Infamous 2 had just come out the week before E3, and they still showcased it at the Sony press conference. I mean, so...
Okay. I see the point. Alright.
So put it out there. Marketing equals money.
Speculation now, right?
My speculation, I expect to see some Infamous Second Son DLC.
That would be nice.
Yeah. I mean,
Paper!
We didn't get it. Damn it. I have no idea what it's showcasing, like I said. Like we were all saying. Speculation. God of War. What... Nobody knows anything about what the Sony-owned companies are doing. What is Sony Santa Monica doing? They got to be working on something. I believe it's Sony Santa Monica. God of War is probably the safe choice. You know, God of War, I think one has come out every 2 years the past 8 years. Played out maybe, but it sells.
They're taking time with it. I mean,
yeah,
I didn't really pay Ascension because it goes back to my prequel thing, but
so rumors are God of War 4. Now, whether or not that's continuing Kratos' story or if it's another God killer, maybe we're gonna be playing.
Maybe against the
maybe it's gonna be like
Vikings.
God of War or semicolon
hashtag.
Hashtag Twitter bug.
Odin.
I don't know. What is it? The Olympians? What is that movie?
Well, I mean, if he killed
Percy
the Olympians
Jackson.
already, I mean, he can only go after like the Viking gods now. So I mean,
if they continue it on from that other dude's original God of War 3 story, fuck, I'm down.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know what the original story was?
Yeah, I know what the original story was.
I loved it personally. I was like, why didn't they go with that?
Yeah, because that other dude was such a nice guy. But he done a great game. But the Hope thing, to me, was dumb.
Yeah.
And also, it didn't have much replayability after God of War 2. Anywho.
Alright. So, what's something else that you think is going to...
Well, we spoke about the infamous Second Son DLC, which I see them doing it. It's because the last Infamous had DLC. They still have not said whether Agent has been decommissioned. Hopefully, we will still get to see some.
You're talking about with...
I remember the trailer so vividly.
Hitman. I couldn't think of the franchise for a second there.
No, it's not Hitman. Not Agent 47. This game was called Agent. And... The Last Guardian.
Alright.
The Last Guardian, the people who made Ico and Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh yeah, trust me.
Their next game, The Last Guardian, it has been in the making 7 years, and people are still wanting to see it. If they don't show it at this E3, it's dead on arrival.
Yeah.
They're not making it.
Yeah.
Besides that, I really just wrote down games
that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, that we haven't seen in a while, and like we said, Sony's got to bring it. They can't just ride that hype train from last year. Microsoft's already redoing their thing. Nintendo's doing their thing. Sony cannot come back off Microsoft's mistakes from a year ago. So, really, I just wrote down things that we've only seen on the PlayStation console. Onimusha. Onimusha. I love those games. Why don't they do?
I've got the first 4. Well,
there was only 4.
Right. And what was the last one?
There was
Dawn of Dreams.
Dawn of Dreams. Oh my god.
There was a fighting game, but
yeah.
It wasn't that great. I don't think
it was.
Why doesn't Sony do anything with the Crash Bandicoot franchise?
Yeah, I mean,
just make it a small little indie game or something.
Well, not to bash anybody who plays, like games multiple, but I think they just got killed out. Like how I feel like Assassin's Creed or even Call of Duty's going to get, because there was a while there where there was a new Crash Bandicoot every year, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. So I think that's what happened to them. I just think they just got. They were like, okay, well, we got a year to make this game. Let's change something, and they just kind of lost touch with themselves. Crash Bandicoot was a good game.
Kind of like they started. I think the last Crash game I saw was Crash Racing, Crash Bandicoot Racing.
No. There was more. There was some for the PS2. Oh, there was I can't remember the names of them. I own a couple of them, and they're okay games, but I mean it's nothing like the earlier Crash Bandicoot games.
Really, the only way I could see Crash Bandicoot keeping to its original spirit would have to be a downloadable game, because really, platformer and square button attack games are dead.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I see that. Now, it hasn't been too long since I heard about Capcom going back to the roots, I'm hoping that we'll be seeing, like, I know that it hasn't been long since Resident Evil 6 was released.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see something on
A little bit over a year.
Yeah.
A year and 6 months. October of 2012.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm hoping to see a new Resident Evil.
Right.
Now, I think that whenever they went to 4, they got it right.
4 was a masterpiece.
Oh, yes.
Well, I even like 5. I really did. I mean, I did.
I did
5 was fun. Like 4 was okay, but you know, like something for Resident Evil for me.
I don't know what
this is something
that noise was.
It's something we were talking about earlier before we started our little segment, and we would like to see another Resident Evil Outbreak.
Right.
At least I would.
They done 2 of them. I played the first one. I played the shit out of the first
Well, I mean,
one.
and now that online is more accessible to more people.
Yeah, Outbreak was probably ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It was definitely
Especially
I mean,
early
there's a lot of
PlayStation
games
2.
because I remember wanting to play it, but I couldn't because like every time I tried to play it,
Dial-up. That's like the golden age of dial-up, folks.
yeah.
I only played a single player, so even when I did play through it, my playthroughs didn't last long because I couldn't see any of the other accessible multiplayer only stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So since we are definitely here now, they need an Outbreak.
But should they go back, and I know what you're going to say, Eric, but should they go back to how Outbreak was, or should they modernize it and make it like Resident Evil 4?
I think they need to keep it the way it was.
I think they need to make it more like Resident Evil 6. I swear to God, if I have to play another Resident Evil, will I have to stand there and shoot and not move around? Move and shoot besides the stand there, aim and shoot?
No,
I'm going to have to go with Philip on this one. I mean, you know, 4 was good. And, I mean, you know, I would love to see a Resident Evil game go back to the roots. But Outbreak, they already had 2 games that was like the earlier Resident Evil games. I would love to see like a game like Outbreak, like 4.
I can see it now.
You know, your characters in front of you. You know, you can see your characters and other characters behind you. You know, I think that'd be kind of neat. You know.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, like honestly, I think that a multiplayer kind of game like that, like especially with Resident Evil and being able to play with up to 3 more of your buddies and run through a Resident Evil world, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Just up the difficulty.
Co-op.
That's what I have to say. Just up the difficulty.
I mean,
when you play.
Whenever
Make the enemies smarter. I hate when you up the difficulty
and they
become more They become more bullet sponges and they deal out more damage. Hell, have 5 lines of code for an enemy, and depending on the difficulty, lock one of the lines of code. Make the enemies dumber.
Like if you play on easy and then
If you play on easy, hell, they stand there and maybe they get behind cover. If you're playing on hard, they get behind cover and they yell flank, or
But we're talking about Resident Evil. If I heard if I was playing Resident Evil and I heard a zombie yell,
well, Resident Evil 4, they were yelling French.
No, I think that's Spanish.
Same language.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't
A
understand.
little bit different,
but drink for the working man.
But that was a
There is
parasite, not zombie.
Right. Yeah, but leave it up to Capcom.
Yeah.
They.
I mean, they've seen that what they did with 6 wasn't exactly very successful.
Mm-hmm.
That while they tried to go more action oriented with it, that they needed to go back to their roots. Now I'm hoping that they don't go back too far, because like the reason why Resident Evil 1 and 2 and 3 and all that was really good is like that those fixed camera angles worked so well was because of how enclosed your locations were.
Mm-hmm.
Even in 3, whenever you were running through the streets of
They were blocked off with burning cars.
and you were running through alleyways, and there's only a very small sections where you had somewhat of an open space, but the fixed camera angles, kind of added to that tension, that that feeling of
what's behind the corner?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. You
unique
could
for
also
that.
hear them.
Yeah,
Now,
like
instead of a random zombie just standing there every gameplay, what you've seen with Alien Isolation, the monster has an AI. So every time you play through that game, that alien's not always going to be there. Yeah. He has an AI and he's walking through. Now, if they do that with the zombies also,
that'd be awesome.
Right. So if you go around this corner, okay,
but
I know the zombie's going to be here. But you pull out your gun, that motherfucker's not there. He's already walked into another room. smelling something or whatever.
Okay, I was
Zombies
saying
work.
because zombies don't have intelligence.
No, but that'd still be cool.
Oh
though,
yeah,
you know?
like random
Actually gives them freedom.
behavior.
Kind of like Dying Light or even Dead Island. I mean, just because you saw a zombie in one place, of course, you know,
Doesn't
I have
mean that he'll
opinions
always
about-
be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we can't say anything about Dead Rising because the zombies are always everywhere.
Yeah. Notice we didn't. No.
Some of the old PlayStation franchises that they haven't messed with in a while that we were just happened to maybe to see out of nostalgia. When we just got done talking about the Resident Evil Outbreak, the Onimusha, which we probably won't see either of them. But John, you also brought up Tomba.
Yeah, huge Tomba fan. I love Tomba. It's actually one of my most favorite games, but I've never beaten it.
Why not?
Yeah.
And I guess Activision is just so into Spyro and what was it?
Skylanders, yeah.
So I guess we'll never see a true sequel to the old Spyro games.
Well, I think the last one was Year of the Dragon. I could be wrong on that. I don't really know because I lost my
interest
tracking with it.
Oh.
Like, I played the first three, and I think I played Year of the Dragon. I don't know if there's any more after that, but we'll see. I really do hope. I'm fairly sure we won't see that for E3, but maybe after Skylanders die down, we'll see something else.
A different iteration every year. Now, also kind of moving away from the games, but still a little bit with the games. The system PlayStation Now. We still don't know any hard details besides we'll be able to stream old games to your PS4.
I'd rather
Maybe
just download
subscription.
it, to be honest.
Well, that's what it's going to be doing.
Like it'll download it straight to your hard drive, or you'll be streaming off the cloud.
I've heard the cloud. I've heard the cloud, but again,
I think the cloud is a Microsoft thing, and
well, no,
it's
even
called Gaikai for
I have cloud
PlayStation.
system on.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. Well, when you have PlayStation Plus, you have a cloud system.
Okay. Well, anyways, we still don't know anything about a subscription base. What do y'all think? What would be acceptable to y'all?
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be done like PlayStation Plus. I think it's going to be like. The last time I had PlayStation Plus, it was $18 for 3 months. So maybe
what I think they'll do with PlayStation Plus is they'll be like $10 a month without PlayStation Plus. Oh, you have PlayStation Plus? Well, we always give discounts for PlayStation Plus. Maybe $5.99, and you can play. I doubt you'll be able to play all your old PS3 games right from the start. But sooner or later, they're going to keep upgrading the library.
At any point, they'll put all the PlayStation games on there.
Why do you just
Probably.
not sell your PS3 and just start buying, keeping your
Right.
games?
Yeah.
My only problem with I've heard that I was actually reading something yesterday, matter of fact, that said that PS3, with PSN, they're only planning on keeping PS3 alive for another 2 years, maybe.
I
maybe 3.
see 2015 being the last year for 360 and PS3.
And I mean, that's all fine and whatever. But what about all those games I bought that I didn't have room
That's
for?
what I'm so worried about with the internet. And sooner or later, they're going to be cutting content. What if I buy a game at Nerdvana or something, and I can't download the newest patch because there's an automatic game breaking bug? So if PlayStation Now keeps that alive, maybe that'd be awesome. Last thing, Amazon leaked the PS4 and the PlayStation Vita bundle. Now, it was up for only a little bit before it got taken down. I think it was $550, so what, $50 off of the...
I actually may get it. I mean, I've always wanted a Vita. I
want
definitely
a Vita.
want Vita now just for one reason.
What's that?
Borderlands 2.
And you know what's cross-save?
Yes. I just got the patch on
And you know
Borderlands
what?
2.
It did... The Borderlands 2... Borderlands 2 did come with the Vita. On that little bundle. I'm saying the PS4 Vita bundle.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, it comes with it. I mean, that would be something...
I'm pretty sure.
I got out of Borderlands 2, but I just recently started getting really back into it,
So
really heavy.
cross-save will just...
Yeah, I mean, it'd just be like, oh, shit, well, when I don't want to turn it off, I'll pause it, go to work on break time, I'll pull it out, and I'll start playing it.
Like $550 be too expensive. You think that'll sell?
Well, I know that whenever they say it comes out, it just depends on if I get it or not. I mean, it just depends on when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out or Final Fantasy 15. If that comes out before those two games, then I'll get it. If it doesn't before that, then I'll have a PS4 before the bundle comes out.
Yeah, I see maybe summer release. They'll give maybe 3 or 4 months. PS4 bundle, 4 months from now. August, September, when all the big games coming out. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I had a PlayStation Vita, and I wasn't overly impressed with it. No, I had it in the early stages of whenever it was released over here. I had the, like the 3G version and all that. But it was honestly a glorified PSP for me.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, I played my old PS1 games on it. I think I downloaded PSP games to it. I had a handful of actual Vita titles on it. And I mean, I just really didn't use it as
needs
a PSP.
more support, really.
It does. It really does.
Just like, I guess, everything we've mentioned tonight.
Yeah.
We just want more games.
Yeah.
I got money.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well,
I don't have a lot of it, but I got it to spend.
For me, I can't really comment on it. I've never had a Vita. But that might be a lot to say. I just never really cared about it until I heard about Borderlands 2. And even then, I wasn't crazy about it because I was like, well, I already got it. And then when they said, well, you can cross-save, I was like...
I may get it.
I may dabble.
Yeah,
I may dabble a little bit.
What would it take Sony to win E3?
Well, I mean, honestly, the things that
away.
we've already said, the things that would make them, have the best show, we've all said, Kingdom Hearts 3 and...
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15 are not going to be at the show, so they can't use that.
I mean, honestly, they've got some pretty interesting titles, but I think most of them are coming out on PS3, so there's no incentive for me to go, all right, I'm getting a PS4. But this isn't about, this isn't PS4 E3, it's Sony. So with the titles that they have, I'm pretty interested, but I think we all know what I'm more psyched about.
And for good reason.
Oh, yeah.
Sony have to win E3. Just maybe come out with all these games. I don't know.
No, I mean,
games is going to sell the systems.
If they released all these games, if they said Onimusha, I'm like, or Onimushu? Mushu?
I think it's Onimushu.
I think you're right. Now, if they said Onimushu, bitch, it's bought. It's bought. If they said Tomba, I'd probably get like, hey, well, I'm getting my Onimushu, I am getting Tomba 2. Or would it be Tomba 3? Well,
Tomba 3. Yeah.
I meant 2 as in TOO, but to clarify, I was like, well, it'd technically be Tomba 3. Resident Evil, like, if they released all these games that you said, I'd be like, yep, bought.
Right.
Because, I mean, I do plan on getting a PS4 pretty soon.
Odds are they won't. I'm just hoping.
Oh, one thing that we left out is, they said, now, Square Enix said that they weren't going to just, release a trailer for Final Fantasy 15, but do you think possibly that they'll release something on Final Fantasy 14, the new patch coming out, the new DLC?
Maybe. It's doing pretty good right on the PS3 and the PS4 right now. So, Square Enix, by all means, should.
Yeah.
DLC, maybe say something about a new patch, a new area, open it up or something.
Alright, so that's all we have for Sony's E3 at the moment. This is Eric, Philip, and John without the H.
Now, everybody enjoyed.
Now, if you want to take us on the go, remember, go to YouTube to MP3, put in the URL to our video, and convert it. It'll rip out all the audio and put it into a nice little MP3 track to where you can take it on the go for whatever device of your choosing. And, as always,
keep gaming.
Remember, we're always watching.